the thumbnail for this video kind of got me wondering, because I'm pretty sure the thumbnail was that dude Christian something, the dude that played Anakin on Star Wars, and it said that he works a normal job. But I thought I just saw like a thumbnail or a video for YouTube that said him and that dude Pedro that's starring in The Last of Us, the one that was on like Narcos and all that. They said that or there was a video for both of them, and it said actors on actors. I'm not sure what that is. But I mean, if it's saying actors on actors, you would think that means maybe he's still acting. Like if he gave up his job, he wouldn't even be doing interviews as an actor, right? I don't know. And I'm pretty sure that fool Taylor Lautner gave up fame for a normal job as well. I don't think he liked all the attention from that Twilight series. Or maybe it was just too much for him or something.
From Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka to the Shermanator from American Pie. These are celebrities who work normal jobs now, beginning with Hayden Christensen, who gave up his
this
fame
dude,
as a
Hayden.
Hollywood
I don't know why I said
actor
Christian.
to the world of manual labor. After appearing in the third Star Wars movie back in 2005,
it's the best fight scene ever
Christensen
made.
explained that he felt he hadn't really earned his fame, stating, "I guess I felt like I had this great thing in Star Wars that provided all these opportunities and gave me a career,
fight scene
but it
ever.
all kind of felt a little too handed to me." Also adding that he liked the idea of deliberately sabotaging his fame just so he could start from scratch. "You can't take years off and not have it affect your career," he admitted. "But I don't know, in a weird sort of destructive way, there was something appealing about that to me." For this reason, Christensen decided to purchase a farm just outside of Toronto, Canada, so he could get into the world of agriculture, stating, "I'm trying to figure it out, it's all new to me, but I would eventually like it to be a fully operational farm with livestock and different crops. I've got a tractor and an excavator, and I'm learning to use all the construction equipment. Right now there's an apple orchard that I want to extend, and I've started a small vegetable garden, and I want to turn a hayfield into lavender," which also led to his own line of country clothing through a company.
I was about to say, who filmed all this? Like, is he just putting a camera out there while he goes and feeds his livestock right now? Who's getting this stock footage of this man?
Called RW & Co. Christensen has since been spotted at numerous farmers markets and maintains that the farm is going well.
How's things going, man? How's the farm? Good. Farm's good.
However, while Hayden Christensen is still kind of working for himself, Stephen Anthony Lawrence has since found a different type of beans since he played Beans in Even Stevens. After the show,
I don't even remember the show. I just remember the dude.
Lawrence struggled to land any further teen roles as he went bald only 1 year later at the age of 14, stating in a Vice interview, "I mean, it sucks, but you come to terms with it." During the same interview, Lawrence explained that both of his parents were then diagnosed with cancer, making it even more difficult for him to return to acting, having
What the fuck?
You're being a caregiver, you've got to be there to change diapers, and you can't do that when you're on auditions. That's physically impossible, it just wouldn't work. After both of his parents tragically passed away, Lawrence returned to the workforce as a part-time actor alongside another interesting job, Santa's Little Helper at the Sun Valley Shopping Centre. Fans have been flocking to the mall to get their own selfie with Beans, and he seems to be having a good time with it. If Instagram captions are to be believed, he's making dreams come true, which is certainly more than that mall Santa can say. Beans explained in the Vice interview that he took the role to honor his father, stating, "Dad was really into Christmas. He was a big Clark Griswold guy. So this was kind of my way to feel close to him during the holidays and do something cool for people." However, it was Danny Lloyd from The Shining who decided that the world...
Dude, what the fuck are the odds, bro? I feel like the universe be doing some shit sometimes for no reason. Like, do you ever have those times where Spider-Man, shut the fuck up, bro? You ever have those times where you like maybe you hear a word that you haven't heard someone say in like a long time, and then bro, Peter, shut the fuck up, bro. You be self-explaining so much, bro. You think I'm dumb as hell, don't you? No, but do you ever have those moments like maybe whenever you hear a word that you haven't heard in a very long time, and then that same day or that same week at least, like maybe you hear it a couple more times and you're just like, why am I hearing this word so often now? Or maybe like you don't see a show for a long time and then you decide to watch it, and then all of a sudden like you see something else that has something to do with it. I don't know. But it's so funny because I have HBO Max, right? And I had only bought it because, what was it? I think I just wanted to watch Game of Thrones because everyone was talking about, oh, Game of Thrones is so good. And so I was like, dude, I'm going to just check it out. And yeah, so the point is I have HBO Max and I'm kind of just like, before I give it up, I kind of want to run through everything that they got so far and like anything interesting. And The Shining, I saw The Shining on there and I was like, you know, this is like a cult classic movie, but I've never actually watched it. And so I threw that bitch on. Sure enough, look, this fucking video pops up and this dude is in it. And this kid was creepy, bro. He would do this thing where he's like, "You're not talking to your son. Sorry, Mrs." I forgot what their names were. But that was like his thing, is like when he was possessed or whatever, he'd be like, you suck." But it was a good movie. Like I feel like it's overhyped. It's definitely a movie, but they had some cool scenes on it. Like there was one scene where this kid was just on like one of those little trikes, and he was just like wheeling through this big fucking nice ass hotel or motel, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure it's a hotel. What's the difference? Maybe like a hotel is like 2 stories and a motel is, or vice versa. Motel is 2 stories. Hotel is like however many stories. Anyway, yeah, there's a scene where he's like riding his bike on it and it's all hardwoods. So it's like, I don't know. And the camera's like right behind him, just kind of like following him. And it just looks cool. It's just like it's all quiet and you just hear his bike rolling on the hardwood. And then there's a bunch of rugs everywhere too. So then he's just like riding over the rugs and it gets all quiet and then back onto the hardwood and then back onto the carpet. It's kind of like one of those little oddly satisfying things. They got a couple cool scenes. And then there's one where an elevator opens up and a whole bunch of blood spills out. And I was like, how do you get the elevator closed shut to where nothing spills out, but then as soon as you open it, everything spills out? Like, did they have a tarp in there or something? Like, how do you get that? I don't know.
Of media just wasn't for him. Apart from 2 other minor appearances, The Shining became Danny's only major role on the big screen, and considering he was only 6 years old at the time, he returned to school like any other person. I'm glad I was in The Shining. It just wasn't something that panned out, and I decided to go back to being a regular kid in school. I worked at the local Walmart. I also worked on a hog farm driving a tractor and working with the hogs. A Hollywood life probably wouldn't have been for me anyway. In a different interview, Danny explained that he used these farm jobs to pay his way through university, which ultimately led to the full-time job he works now.
It's him now.
Biology teaching at a high school.
Dude is old.
Lloyd learned fast that being the kid from The Shining was not a fact he needed to share with pupils looking for chinks in his authority. It was disruptive in class, so that's when I began to really play it down. Were the kids waggling their...
Yeah, that's one thing that's weird, right? Like, if you ever... Like, kids... I mean, that's kind of like that little Mabu kid, right? That we were just talking about. He's 18, he's in high school, but he's got all this fame. Some people like it, but then other people like this, like, you have the fame and then you're in school and people are just... It gets annoying. And they're all like, hey, you did good. Or, hey, man, you were so bad in that movie. Like, or, hey, like... You got all these fake friends trying to be like, who did you talk to? How did you get in that movie? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to get in a movie or anything, but I'm just like, well, I'm just wondering, like, who do you talk to? Like, oh, can I have the, like, hey, you're pretty cool, bro. Let's hang out after school. And it's like, bro, what do you want from me, man? I can't get you that job. I got lucky. My parents forced me into that shit. I was 6.
Their fingers hissing red rum, he laughs good-naturedly, yes, very occasionally, but enough for me to know I had to downplay it. As a teacher, you're supposed to be in control, which has got to be an outlook shared by Carrie Henn, who also ditched Hollywood to work in education. After playing the character Newt in the 1986 classic Aliens, Henn decided
I've never
not to
seen all
pursue
those movies
full-time
either.
acting and instead continued with her schooling. For this reason, she fell out of the public spotlight for over 30 years, returning in a 2016 Comic-Con interview with Kevin James to state that she rather found traditional employment.
I always wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, it's probably like
I went to school to be a teacher.
Tell them what you do.
Well, why is she here then? If she hasn't been in a movie since she was a kid, did they just be like, hey, I mean, you were a kid when you started in that movie, but we're doing a re-release of it, or like they're still fans of the show if you want to show up as like a cameo.
He's running.
I teach 4th grade.
Yet it was Vanilla Ice whose career change was
Vanilla Ice, bro.
surprising.
The man, the myth, the
success
legend.
in 1990 with the now infamous song Ice Ice Baby, yet his music career had almost no longevity, with many considering Vanilla Ice to be a one-hit wonder. With his music career in the dumps, Vanilla Ice tried his hand at motocross racing and even professional jet
Dude, Frankie
skiing, which
Muniz.
worked reasonably.
Ricky Muniz is a race car driver now. Malcolm in the Middle.
Well, given he peaked as the world's #6 ranked sit-down jet ski racer, competing nearly every weekend and earning a Kawasaki sponsorship. At the same time,
Damn, he got
Vanilla Ice
sponsored by
began to go down the
Kawasaki?
dark path of drug addiction, leading to his
Uh-oh.
disappearance from the
That
spotlight.
haircut, though.
However, in 2010, the name would reappear in a show about houses called the Vanilla Ice Project. He'd become a renovator. The show ran for over 9 years, displaying countless different construction projects, yet this wasn't the only normal job that Vanilla Ice wound up doing. In 2013, an article was published to the website Joe reading, "He's transformed himself from rapper to lighting salesman. We guess when the lights go out on a rapping career, you have to find a way to turn them on again. But by selling lights and lighting designs, really, Mr. Ice currently works for Capital Lighting in
Whoa,
Florida."
why are they? It sound like they hating, bro. They're throwing shade at this man for finding something else besides rapping. Like, what does it matter, bro? What if he wanted to be a plumber? What kind of shit does that matter? If he wanted to be a hotel bus boy, like, what does it matter if that's what they want to do, bro? If they find happiness doing that shit, who gives a fuck? Why you gotta be like, but selling lighting and lighting designs, really? Like, who the fuck are you, bro? You're literally writing a document about this man. You're about someone else, you know? Ain't nobody worried about you, Mr. fucking journalist or journalist. I use that term very lightly because nobody does good journalism nowadays, man. People would just be writing with their feelings and like they don't. I'd be finding misspelling all the time. Like, I don't know, man. Whenever you open up a bunch of new pages and you always got news flashing in front of you and shit's interesting and you click on it and then you read it and you just keep finding all these misspelled words, it's kind of just like, who's proofreading any of this? And then you see people just talking with their emotion, like basically like this, saying shit like, the ignorant take that they said or that they spewed was this, that, and the third. And it's like, bro, just because they don't agree with you doesn't mean you gotta like word it in such a condescending manner, you know? You could say they said quote blah blah blah. You don't gotta be like they tried to fuck it. I'm drawing a blank on the word that I'm trying to use, but you know how media tries to reword shit to make it kind of fall into making it look worse than it is or making it look better than it is instead of just leaving it neutral and letting the reader decide. Nowadays it's just, let me inject my own personal feelings into it.
And has designed what he calls Vanilla Ice Lighting, a line of chandeliers and wall sconces. Check out this advert for lighting starring Ice himself. And yes, he actually says lights, lights, baby. However, it was Peter Ostrom from Willy Wonka who decided that instead of living in a chocolate factory, he'd rather look after animals. Shortly after appearing in the film, the Ostrom family purchased a horse,
he gave up the
sparking
chocolate
what became
factory?
a lifelong interest in farm animals. After finishing high school, Ostrom worked in an equestrian center in Pennsylvania, which was followed by his college graduation with a veterinary degree, having been inspired by the vet who looked after the family horse. I can remember the veterinarian coming out and taking care of the horses, and it made a huge impression on me. This person really enjoyed what he did for a living. My father was a lawyer and I really didn't have a clue what he did all day, but I knew exactly what the veterinarian did. Someone making a living from something he enjoyed so much really sparked my interest. Ostrom was so entrenched in the idea of becoming a vet that he never returned to Hollywood. His one and only acting role, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That was his only one, and it fucking he was the main character and slammed.
To find something that you love doing, and that's what my profession has given me. Although he's not the only celebrity on this list to dedicate his life to the medical field, as Jennifer Stone from The Wizards of Waverly Place followed
Remember that girl?
pathway. Only 1 year after the show came to an end in 2012, Stone was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, with her experience in the hospital inspiring her to join the medical field.
You don't even look
I wanted to make
overweight.
sure that nobody ever had to experience that when they were going through uncertainty. I know it's a drop in the bucket, but it was something I could do.
How do you how is diabetes formed? Is it just from having too much sugar and not enough something else, or is it just too much of something? Or is it just that your body can't? Damn, these claws look dope. Is it a, I don't know, like, is it an imbalance of certain chemicals with too much sugar or something? Because she don't look overweight.
and your work.
But there
on
are
the
people that are
neural web.
really overweight that don't have diabetes, right? They're just
But we haven't even
overweight.
tested it yet. There's so much we don't know. It works
You get-
beautifully.
Or is it just like a blood thing, or are you born with it? Is it hereditary? Can you like, I don't know. I have to look into diabetes.
Maintaining minor acting roles on the side, Stone began to volunteer at a Burbank Medical Center, and by 2019 she'd become a fully qualified nurse.
I'm
stating,
sick.
I just see so much more of humanity than
need a
I ever
nurse.
saw before nursing. I've seen parts of humanity that I don't know if I would have ever seen without it. It's a beautiful thing and it's heartbreaking, and it's a great reminder to be thankful for the things that you do have. Since becoming a registered nurse, it seems Jennifer Stone has pretty much retired from acting. However, this hasn't stopped her from being recognized by some of her patients.
And I had a lot of patients that are like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're not allowed here.
But whatever
What the
happened to the
fuck?
Shermanator from American Pie? Well, according to IMDb, real name Chris Owen continued to land role after role following the iconic performance, yet on the 28th of September 2012, a post was made to Reddit reading, "At a sushi restaurant in Santa Monica, the Shermanator was my waiter." Approximately 1 year later, additional photos were sent to the Radar
These
website,
puzzles,
with
bro.
the sender stating it was kind of funny watching the Shermanator serve at a sushi restaurant. It was also sort of sad to see how quickly and easily an actor can fall from fame. No one in the restaurant even seemed to recognize him.
Maybe
When
he don't
interviewed
want
by the
them to,
Daily
bruh.
News 3 years later, Owen stated, "Life doesn't always go the way you planned. I love acting and this job lets me stay in the fight. I get recognized a lot," he says. "I walk up to the table and see the look in their eyes. People get excited and it feels good. I like connecting with people for that brief moment in time, although in December 2018, it seemed Chris Owen recognized that he'd need a long-term career path, as he'd make a post to his Instagram stating that he joined a property company.
He almost
called
looked like Dr.
Compass,
Strange
with
right
his
there.
following post showing that he'd become a real estate agent. But while Chris Owen took these positions out of necessity, it was Susan Boyle who got a day job just so she could return to being a normal person. Despite having a net worth of over $40 million, Susan has often been commended for living an extremely humble life, having raised over £42 million for charity whilst continuing to live in her childhood home. However, Susan Boyle's desire for normality was best highlighted in an article from June 2014 titled "Millionaire Susan Boyle applies for a £6 an hour cashier job in her local bookmakers," with the article reading, "The 52-year-old singer is reported to have applied for a minimum wage £6 an hour cashier's job after spotting a job advert in the window of her local bookmakers Ladbrokes. Upon reading the advert on Thursday afternoon, Susan entered the premises and spent around 5 minutes talking to the shop's deputy manager David Core, 28, about the role. Susan Boyle walked into the shop and inquired about the job advertised in our window. We were all in shock. Obviously she doesn't need the money, so I think she saw it as a way of getting her out of her house and taking her mind off things, with the article also implying that it'd be a good way for her to reintegrate with the local community. Interestingly, it seems Boyle didn't end
That's
up
sweet
getting
of
the
her.
job. However,
Uh-oh.
Kevin Jonas was a little more
Oh,
lucky.
yeah.
But the Jonas Brothers took a hiatus back
I was
in
gonna say, I thought I seen
2013.
the Jonas
Two of the
Brothers.
brothers pursued their own solo projects, yet the third brother, Kevin, decided to leave music altogether and walk a slightly different path. He dived into the world
That's
of construction.
crazy. Remember that song? Been to the year 3000. I don't know why that shit just popped up my head right now.
Creating a property development business called Jonas Werner, and would also become the co-CEO of a social media business called the Blue Market Company. But while you could still consider this far from a normal job, it's time to talk about Nikki Blonsky, who's perhaps one of the greatest examples of giving up fame to go back to a regular life.
Damn.
Blonsky's first ever acting role was in
Hairspray Girl?
Hairspray the movie, so it was kind of funny that only 4 years later, she'd get her cosmetology license before landing a
What
job as a
the hell?
hairstylist in her hometown.
That's crazy.
Superstar is happy to announce our newest employee, our
You think she
cosmetologist
sings to
Nikki
her
Blonsky from
customers?
Hairspray, which was followed by a tweet to Nikki Blonsky's Twitter confirming her new part-time position. "It's true I'm working at Superstar Salon as a makeup artist, and I'm proud to be working and helping pay bills, but I'll never lose sight of my dreams. Just because I'm part-time working doesn't mean I'm gonna give up on my dreams, and don't give up on yours. I might book something big soon, keep positive," and apparently she made the right decision by doing this, given the customer feedback. "I was so surprised today when I showed up at Superstar to get my makeup done and it turned out to be Nikki Blonsky applying it. She did a great job and I really look like a superstar."
Oh, that's crazy. That's kind of weird that, I mean, it's not weird, but imagine getting into acting and then getting out of it and having all these people that are just like, hey, what are you doing here, bro? Shouldn't you be like behind a camera right now? And it's like, no, I didn't like it. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Come on.
Dude, I fucking hate these puzzles, bro. I know you can apparently skip them. Maybe not these story ones. But I did a lot of other ones.
This is bad.
I'm surprised they didn't talk about Frankie Muniz. He's probably just so well known that like he's a race car driver now instead.
Doctor, I found a potential problem.
I wonder what gets these people.
But fortune favors
Like, what's different between people? Well, I mean, there's a lot different, but like, what makes people want the attention of being an actor and an actress?
what we've done. Otto, the neural web isn't isolating your motor neurons.
Like, maybe the
It could be
money,
affecting other
but I
parts
mean,
of
what
your
makes
brain,
people
your
want fame?
inhibitions, your mood. I just think we need some more.
Kind of weird, right? Maybe it's like the desire to be friends with everybody, which sounds cool. I would like to have everybody like me, and I would like to like
Otto, you're
everybody,
not a failure,
but
but this could permanently damage your mind. Please.
I don't know. It's got to be so strange, especially for like these people that do one-hit wonders. Like, imagine doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, sorry, and then that's like a classic movie. That's like Napoleon Dynamite type shit, or actually probably harder than Napoleon Dynamite. But and then you just like, nah, I didn't even like acting, dude. That was a good movie, but I didn't like it at all. And then you just start a farm life.
Got some bugs.
They all like farm lives too, right? It's kind of like that simple life.
Go.
It's really nice. That's what I want. I want a farm life.
Yes.
I feel like that'd be sweet and awesome and nice. And then you can like raise, like help out stray dogs and shit, stray cats. You can take them in if you have land. All you gotta do is build a little shelter. I feel like that'd be really nice too, because then you can house them while you find them somewhere, or even just keep them. And then if you got all this land, you know, it doesn't really matter. And then you can have some cows. You could grow some like vegetables. That way, if you ever like make a hamburger, you could just go outside, get a tomato, take some lettuce. I'm sure you have to harvest it at the right times, but you know what I'm saying. For the most part, you can kind of learn the schedule, and go outside, get some free lettuce,
No idea.
make a free salad every now and then, every couple months a year. What the hell is this dude getting angry about? Otto? Fuck out of here, bro. Just be a good guy with 8 arms. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool that all these people want the farm life. It's really relatable. Makes you realize not everybody's a clout chaser, you know?
Hi, Miles.
Because people are doing
just
some
wanted to see how you're
crazy
doing with
things
the
for
news about
clout
Lee.
today. Especially on TikTok when you're not even getting paid anything. You're getting paid like 12 cents for a video that's got 2 million views.
Then I remember when my dad used to
People
say,
just want to be known. They want the
"Heroes just
attention.
die
I don't know.
and
That's
doesn't give
strange to
up."
me.
That's true.
These are the exact opposite.
Assuming
They
he's doing
don't want the
right thing.
fame.
I got you that job.
Interesting.
I'd hate for you to keep doing it if you